Have you had any sexual contact with your ex?
That is correct.
What was Mr. Robinson's answer to that question?
He answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination revealed.
I'm gonna be fairly honest with you because
Don't be fairly honest with me.
I was asleep and his phone was on the charger, and
Let me guess, you went through it.
my fiance has been unfaithful.
Miss Long, you all have been together for 4 years. You've been engaged for 2 years. You actually have a 13-year-old daughter for a prior relationship, and before you get married, you want some answers. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, Miss Long, why are we in court?
We're in court today because I feel as though my fiance has been unfaithful, and I decided that we need to go ahead and get this lie detector test to make sure that what I'm feeling is accurate or not. And therefore, if he fails this lie detector test, he can pack his bags and move back to Hawaii because we are not getting married.
So, Mr. Robinson, I know that you moved halfway across the world
Yes,
from
Your Honor.
Hawaii to Oregon
Yes, Your Honor.
For this woman.
Yes, Your Honor. I love Kiara, and I made a whole lot of sacrifices. I moved from Hawaii all the way to Oregon, sold my car for this woman, and I'm here to prove I can take a lie detector test. I want to stay with my lady.
So I hear what Mr. Robinson is saying. Miss Long, I'm trying to figure out, well, first of all, it's a good man that'll move from Hawaii to Oregon. No offense, Oregonians, okay? House and never, I'm gonna be staying up in Hawaii. What in the world? How'd y'all meet and what got you to the point where we're in divorce court?
So, Your Honor, we originally met on social media, and we met in Hawaii, went on our first date. Of course, it's like
You were living in Hawaii at that time?
Yes, ma'am. We both.
So the two of you moved from Hawaii?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Oregon got it going on, I'm telling you.
Your Honor, Oregon has waterfalls.
So does Hawaii. Okay. Ms. Robinson, tell me about your life in Hawaii. What did you do and what kind of living did you make?
So I was a computer science engineer for a contractor at the Navy in Hawaii.
Okay.
I was making like 70K a year. Had a condo.
Doing very well
was
as a
good.
young man.
Yes, ma'am. Kiara had a family issue and everything, so we decided when my lease was up, I was going to help be with her family because I want to be the person, you know, if I really want to marry this person, I want to let her know that I'm in this relationship thick and thin. I didn't want to lose Kiara. I love Kiara. So I could have stayed in Hawaii, but for the fact that I love Kiara, I decided to move my life, and now I'm in Oregon now with Kiara.
Miss Long, that sounds like that was a really great plan, but it didn't work out that way?
The honeymoon went out, and
You mean the honeymoon time is over?
The honeymoon time went out, and things got a little stagnant once we moved to Oregon.
So you both moved to Oregon. You decide you're going to establish a relationship. You're going to have your engagement there while you're in Oregon, and then you're going to get married. That was the plan. Am I correct?
Correct.
And some of these deal breakers and lack of communication has led you to believe that he's been cheating.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is what brings us here today. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Please give me, for instance, and I want to know about this ex-girlfriend. What's the problem?
So I was asleep, and his phone was on the charger, and
Let me guess, you went through it.
I was asleep, and it woke me up. So once you get woke up out your sleep, you're like, who waking me up out of my sleep? And so I did go through it, and then I seen that he was texting his ex, saying happy birthday to her son, talking about how he was gonna fly them out. They were gonna rent a place, an Airbnb by the beach in Oregon, because there's beaches in Oregon, and do a whole little
Wow.
family thing.
Did you know that Mr. Robinson was still in contact with his ex?
I was told that he wasn't.
Tag your it, Mr. Robinson. What's
Okay,
that about?
so I'm gonna be fairly honest with you because
Don't be fairly honest with me.
Honest man.
Corey, I don't think anybody's ever said that to me. I'm gonna be fairly honest.
That's right.
That's not a good thing for somebody who's taking a lie detector test to be fairly honest. Now, I need you to be totally honest.
I'm totally honest.
Okay, so what happened?
What happened was I'm cool with a whole lot of my exes, Yana. I'm a really
Friendly.
nice and chill guy. I don't have no bad blood towards my exes. Yes, I did text her happy birthday, Your Honor. I'm a real important figure. So when not to cut you off, but
No, I'm not. I haven't even opened my mouth. I'm just listening.
no, but I see how you're looking at me. But the people that I deal with, Your Honor, I really make a big impact. That's all I'm trying to say. For me, just being friendly, me just saying, hey, happy birthday or whatever, I just felt like it was just friendly. Now with the whole Airbnb situation, yeah, I suggested, hey, yeah, if you want to come out here and see how Oregon is, you can here go some sites, here go some listings.
So I'm just curious, Mr. Robinson. I'm just curious.
Yes.
What would make you think that it would be okay with your present partner that you would pay for your past partner to come out? So now, if I'm reading this as your present partner, it looks like you trying to get a backup plan.
Y'all, it might seem like that, but I'm new here in Oregon. I don't know nobody. All I just wanted is
Your Honor,
is
he
a
never let
friend.
go. That's the problem.
Is that true?
No, that's not the That's not the case, Your Honor.
Because Ms.
I love
Robinson,
Kiara.
I heard you say that.
I'm going to marry Kiara, Your Honor.
But Ms. Robinson, it just seems like you were trying to get a little backup plan because, you know, my friend's abuela says where there was fire, ashes remain. Okay.
Well, that's your opinion, Your Honor. But like I said, we're
No,
going
that's abuela's opinion. And don't be putting that on me.
We're going to see where this lie detector test.
Okay.
And my statement is I'm not in love with my ex no more. That chapter is closed. I'm with Kiara. But I am a decent guy. I will say happy birthday.
Fair enough.
There was this point in time where he called me. He's like, I'm going to lunch with my coworkers. I'm like, okay. You know, who's the coworkers? You know, he didn't get into all of that. He just kind of changed the subject. But then the next thing you know, I hear somebody say bae. I'm like, who is that saying bae? And then he hung up.
That's totally false.
This point in time where he called me. He's like, I'm going to lunch with my coworkers. I'm like, okay. You know, who's the coworkers? You know, he didn't get into all of that. He just kind of changed the subject. But then the next thing you know, I hear somebody say bae. I'm like, who is that saying bae? And then he hung up.
Nope. Who's calling you bae?
Your Honor, that's a false accusation. That was my boss saying my name. She said Nate, and her over the phone, she got from Nate from bae. That's totally false.
So you're
But
telling
my
me there
boss
was no...
called my name. There was no bae. There was no friendly.
When he came home, I asked him, Your Honor, I said, why was this girl calling you bae? He said, oh, she called everybody that.
Now, wait a minute, that's two different stories.
Your Honor, that was my boss that she's referring to.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, excuse me. That's two different stories. Either the boss called you Nate and she heard bae, or the boss called you bae and it didn't mean anything. That's not
Lying
the
already.
same.
Hold him at
So
contempt of court,
that's all
Your
I want to
Honor.
know. Which one is it?
It's the first statement that I went with, Your Honor.
The first statement that
She
you
called
went
me.
with?
She called me Nate, and she thought that she called me bae.
Okay. So now I'm dealing with the suspicion, and let me be very clear. I make no judgment on that because you could 100% be telling the truth on this ex-girlfriend just being friendly. You could 100% be telling the truth that the co-worker or your manager,
My boss.
called.
That's why I hung up the phone because my
Right,
boss
because
was
you're
calling
like,
me.
the last thing I need is to get in trouble with my boss.
Exactly.
She could have called you Nate,
Well, Your
and she
Honor, I have a
misinterpreted.
major suspicion about this next coworker.
Okay.
We got to Oregon. He got a security job. They ended up moving him somewhere where he had to be co-partners with this girl that cleans trains named Tiffany. So at one point in time, I guess he was sick. Tiffany made him some tea. And then he tells me, oh, this friendly lady at my job made me tea. She wants to meet you.
That's me telling her.
So he did FaceTime me with her. The girl was like, okay, she wanted to meet and have lunch. So the day we were supposed to have lunch, no show. I said, well, I feel like I don't want you talking to this girl. 3 weeks later, this girl done bought my dog some snacks. Let me rewind. He got me a dog for our anniversary.
That's nice.
You heard that?
How does she know y'all supposed to stop talking? Why is she giving me dog treats and leashes and collars for my dog? It's not her dog. It's not her anniversary. Why is she doing that? Y'all not even supposed to be talking, you know? And then 9 months later, he come home talking about with a whole piece of paper. She drew me a logo for my organic oil business, and they done made an Amazon cart.
I thought you weren't supposed to be dealing with Tiffany anymore.
Okay, Your Honor. So as you can clearly say, that's my coworker, Your Honor. So I have to work with my coworker,
Right.
whether I like it or not, Your Honor.
100%.
I'm pretty sure you have to work with coworkers that you like or not. That's my job.
Absolutely.
At the time to make sure she's safe and secure.
So tell
at this
me,
point.
how did Tiffany then start working with you on your logo and this entrepreneurial arm, which is, for all practical purposes, a side hustle, which is a good thing because we all got to have side hustle.
Thank you.
Why is Tiffany involved in the side hustle?
We was talking, being coworkers. She gave me some logos. She gave me, a branding, a good idea for my business. Now I didn't ask her for that. She did that on her own free time.
Which I 100% understand. But
This is why I
that's
need
how
the
you have a
results.
conversation with Ms. Long. And you say, I think you're putting unreasonable expectations and restrictions and boundaries on this relationship. That's how people who want to be in a long-term relationship communicate. And if you have a meeting of the minds, then that's when you know you have a relationship. And if you don't, then you don't. That's what this process is about. You petitioned the court for a polygraph examination, and you, to your credit, said, let's bring it on. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had any sexual contact with your ex?
That is correct.
What was Mr. Robinson's answer to that question?
He answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination revealed
Robinson, I at least understand why there has been conflict in this relationship. I'm not in a position to say whether or not her suspicions are correct, and I guess that's why you petitioned the court for a polygraph examination, and you, to your credit, said, let's bring it on. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So let's just do this. Let's get the expert
Yes, we
and
need
let's
these
put
results.
this.
Let's
Let's put
go.
this to
So I
rest,
can
one way or
finally
the
back my
other.
Yes,
Your Honor.
Absolutely. I like to understand all of what's going on in a relationship so that we can really figure out if there's a relationship there to sustain.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good day, Mr. Yarbrough. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to introduce John Yarbrough. He is our certified polygraph examiner from Guardian Polygraph Services. He has provided numerous years of polygraph examination services for both public and private entities, and he's this court's expert for providing those same services. So, Mr. Yarbrough, we wanted to allay some of Ms. Long's suspicions, and I asked you to put 4 questions to the defendant. Am I correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
The first question we asked Mr. Robinson, since being in a relationship with Ms. Long, have you had any sexual contact with your ex who you invited to come to Oregon?
That is correct.
What was Mr. Robinson's answer to that question?
He answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination revealed he was being truthful in his response to that question.
Question number 2, Mr. Yarbrough, we asked Mr. Robinson, did you have any sexual contact with the woman who called you babe while you were on a lunch break?
That is correct.
What was Mr. Robinson's answer?
He answered no.
What did the test results indicate?
Polygraph examination revealed he was being truthful to that question as well.
Can you say that one more time? I didn't hear you. Can you say that one more time? I didn't hear you.
Mr. Robinson, I heard him. He was being truthful to that question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Question number 3. Mr. Yarbrough, we asked Mr. Robinson, since being in a relationship with Ms. Long, have you had any sexual contact with your coworker, Tiffany?
That is correct.
What was Mr. Robinson's answer?
He answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
Polygraph examination revealed there was deception to that question.
The question was sexual contact. So, Mr. Yarbrough, I'm pretty sure that is why there's a 4th question. Mr. Yarbrough, what was the 4th question you put to the defendant?
The 4th question was, since being in a relationship with Ms. Long, have you had sexual contact with anyone other than her that she does not know about?
And what was Mr. Robinson's answer?
He answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
Polygraph examination revealed there was deception to that question as well.
Big cat. That's big cat right there.
So basically, you had sex with her.
Oh, maybe.
No, you did. You did.
Excuse me, Ms. Long, Mr. Robinson. I am going to let Mr. Yarbrough get out of here because clearly we all have some things to resolve. And Mr. Yarbrough, your work here is done. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, hold him at contempt of court for lying.
So actually, Mr. Robinson, I'm going to come to you because you said to me that you were a good guy. I want to know what was the sexual contact because understand, I didn't ask intercourse. I said contact. What's been going on, sir? I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Tell the truth. What's going on?
Working, doing my job.
What kind of intimate contact? Has there been kissing? Has there been hand holding?
No.
Has there been touching?
No, not at work.
So tell me.
Well, I can lose my job.
I'm not talking about at work. Excuse me, Mr. Robinson. That don't work on me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you. Here's the deal. There was some deception. I don't know what level of deception. I'm not prepared to say that he's been sleeping around. That I'm not prepared to say, but there's been some sort of intimate contact with someone outside of this relationship, and I don't know what level.
I'd like to know who it is too, because to my knowledge, Kiara is the only person.
I know one thing. I got good woman intuition, bro.
So I got you.
Figure it out.
We not going nowhere. Figure it out.
Mr. Robinson, I'm going to tell you this: the relationship will
nowhere.
never work unless there's complete truth and honesty.
It is truth and honesty.
There's no question in my mind that something has been going on with you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what.
I don't know what either, Your Honor.
Okay, but I guess I tell you what. You not knowing what it is and talking to me is a completely different thing than not knowing what it is and talking to Miss Long. Miss Long, you came to
the
courtroom.
test lied on you, so it lied when you said. So then I mean, it must have been lying.
I beg your pardon?
When they said you was telling the truth the first 2 questions.
I got news for you, Mr. Robinson. I knew from the beginning that there would be some deception when Mr. Yarbrough came here. Let me tell you why I knew. Because you have not been 100% honest just on basic things. And the basic thing is there is resentment in you right now that you have moved your life across the world for this woman, and you are not getting out of this relationship what you want. This test picks up on everything. There's deception noted because there's deception in this relationship. And until the 2 of you deal with the fact that this has not been working out the way that you all fantasized it was, and come up with a plan of action that is going to work for you going forward, there's going to always be deception. Now, you can stand there and pretend this is about Tiffany or a coworker or a boss that calls somebody babe. But it's really about you managing expectations, young people, as to what you want in a relationship, what you're bringing to a relationship, and what you're going to get out of a relationship. Until you're ready to do that, you're wasting your time, you're wasting my time. The truth is out, the case is over.